What are some of the limiting beliefs you heard about money when you were growing up? Do you still have those beliefs today? Do those beliefs affect the way you live your life today when it comes to finances, when it comes to money? What about some of the other limiting beliefs that you hear from other people? The limiting beliefs about money that you hear other people have that you don't have? Do you believe that some of these limiting beliefs that people grew up with that's affecting them today? Well, today I'm gonna share with you 10 limiting beliefs that you must eradicate from your brain right now. All right. But before we get into that, I am Cliff Townsend, founder of BrainMaster.com and also host of the podcast Get Rich Quick or Stay Broke, where you will learn principles and how to create wealth quickly. And I created this platform because I'm on a personal mission to earn $1 million or more in a short period of time. And I'm going to use that I'm going to do that by using the greatest tool that I have and that you have, which is the maximizing the potential of my brain and teaching you the same thing. Now, if you find that to be a worthwhile goal, and I would love to invite you to join me on that journey. However, before I do, let me ask one favor of you, and that is this. I created a very unique coaching program, and that coaching program is called CAGE. And CAGE stands for confidence, accountability, goal setting, and taking empowered action, right? Because those are the four things that stops most people from achieving their goals. However, the accountability is one of the really biggest parts, because one of the things I realize when I'm coaching people, my biggest job is really holding them accountable to the things that they say, or to the goals that they say they want to achieve, and the goals that they say they want to achieve in their life, right? So that's what I want you to do for me. I want you to hold me accountable for the things that I say I'm going to do. So if you see me, hear me, do or say something that is not in alignment with my goal, I want you to call me out. Call me out any way you see fit. Deal? Okay, cool. Now let's get into these limiting beliefs that we must eradicate. Now, I know eradicate is a very strong word. And I chose that deliberately because it means to completely eliminate or destroy anything that is harmful. Completely eliminate or destroy anything that is harmful. And these limiting beliefs that we've been taught, that we've been told, that we heard, that we've been brainwashed, that we've been programmed, they're harmful. They're harmful to our success. They're harmful to our financial well-being. They are harmful, and they need to be eradicated from our brains right now. So let's get into them. I have 10. I started out with 7, but honestly, this could easily be 20. Well, we're going to stick with 10. And these are not in any particular order. I just wrote them as I thought about them. So let's start with the first one, right? Where rich people are greedy. That's something that is really spread by media and the news, right? And then other people pick it up, right? So I hear people say rich people are greedy. But let me ask you this question. Is it greedy to want to be more, do more, and have more in any area of your life? If you could have more love, should you have it? If you could have better relationship with your family, should you have it? If you can grow more, should you have it? If you can learn more, should you grow more? If you can be better in any area of your life, should you? Well, of course you should. Why is money the only area that when people say, I want to do more, be more, and have more in this area, that we say, oh, you're greedy? It is innate. It is human nature to want to do more, to want to grow in all areas of our lives. And finances and money is just one area. But we've been programmed and brainwashed that believing that money is such a bad thing, that if we want more of it, we're not going to have enough for other people. And it's bad and it's greedy to have so much, to have more, to want more. But nobody talks about this. It's bad to be broken, to be poor. In fact, a lot of people talk about it's holy, right? It's godly to be poor or broke. And it's greedy to want to do more or to have more money. So no, rich people are not greedy. It's just innate in us. It's our human nature to want to do more, be more, and have more. Let me ask you this question. If you work a job and you make, let's just say, I don't know, $75,000 a year, and based on that $75,000 a year, you're able to take your family on a vacation once a year. Let me ask you something. Would it be greedy for you to want to take them on a vacation 2-3 times a year? However, you're spending $5,000, maybe that allow you to do that. So would it be greedy if you say, you know what, I want to earn $150,000 so I can take my family and I can do more. Would you be greedy to want to do more for you, for your family? Of course not. It's human nature to want to do more, be more, and add more, to grow. If we can grow more, why shouldn't we? Human beings are the only species that limit our growth in any area. How tall does a tree grow? As tall as it can. A tree does not say, well, I've grown enough. It's greedy for me to grow taller than the other trees. No. It is human nature for us to be more, do more, and add more. So we're going to take that off board. So we're going to take that out, right? So the next one, not everybody's meant to be rich. True. I agree with the statement. Not everybody's meant to be rich. Not everybody's meant to be poor. Not everybody's meant to be a doctor. Not everybody's meant to be a lawyer. Not everybody's meant to be an accountant. Not everybody's meant to be an Uber driver. You name it, whatever it is, right? Nobody's meant to be anything. Not everybody's meant to be any one thing. However, if it is what you so choose, if it is what you so desire, why not? If you so choose to be a lawyer, okay, then that is what you're meant to be. Right? When you find your purpose in life and you say, this is what I want to be, this is what I'm going to do, this is who I'm going to become. You're meant for that. Not everybody wants to be rich. Not everybody's meant to be rich, not because not everybody wants to be. But if it is your desire, and if you're watching this, I'm going to say 99.999%, it is your desire too, as it is mine, to create wealth in a very short period of time. So not everybody's meant to be rich, but it is my desire. And if it's yours, who's anybody else to tell you not to go after your goals and your dreams? So yes, this is a correct statement. Not everybody's meant to be rich. Not everybody's meant to be poor. But if it's your desire to do so, then I'm with you and I'm supporting you. So let's get that out of the table, right? So here's one. All rich people are dishonest. To me, it's such an ignorant statement, but I'm going to discuss it anyway, because I remember a while back, right? Many years ago, I was with a friend, an associate. I was going to say friend, an associate. And I was telling this person about my goals and my dreams and my desires and what I wanted to be. And he said to me, Cliff, you'll never be rich. And I said, why not? Why do you say that? And he said, you're too nice. You're too honest. You'll never be rich. You're too honest. And I didn't respond. I thought about what he said. Because one of the things that you have to do, or you have to become aware of, you have to become aware of people when they put their limiting beliefs on you, right? So for example, when I'm talking to people and I ask for something, for example, if I'm on the phone and I ask for something, or even if I'm in person and somebody says, we can't do that. What I hear is, I can't do that. That person is saying to me, I can't do that. And my thing is, well, find me somebody who can. But see, a lot of people are going to put their limiting beliefs on you, and you have to be careful not to accept it, not to buy into it. You have to be careful on what you accept and what you reject, right? So when I hear things like that, I just say to myself, I reject that idea. I don't allow that to be part of my thinking. I don't allow it in. So I didn't even want to have a conversation about it. I did not respond, because there are certain things in my life that I will not. I refuse to debate or compromise or listen to somebody else's point of view on. I will walk away and I will not speak. I will not say nothing, because I just don't want to. I don't even want somebody to try to convince me otherwise, right? So I don't even want to have a conversation. So I didn't say anything. However, here's what I heard. What I heard from him was that he was telling me that he'll never be rich, because as far as I know, I've known this guy for years. He's an honest guy. He works 9 to 5, and he's always done, and he supports his family and takes care of his family. But what he was saying to me was that, Cliff, I don't believe that I will ever be rich because I'm an honest guy. And I believe that rich people are dishonest and they're criminals. Now, where he got that belief from, I don't know. But obviously, somewhere in his upbringing, somewhere in his experience, right? He got that belief and he has that belief, and that belief is he's still holding on to that belief today as an adult, as a grown-ass man. He's still holding on to that belief that he can never be rich because he's an honest person. And all people who are rich are dishonest. And it is such an ignorant statement. Like I said, I'm surprised I'm spending as much time on it because, it's like saying, if people are dishonest. Whether you're rich, you're tall, you're black, you're white, you're poor, it doesn't matter, right? However, we see these celebrities, and because they're celebrities, they get a lot of exposure, yes. And that's what the news is designed for, right? We also have to remember where we get this information from the news. Listen, when somebody who doesn't have any money, nobody knows about when they do something dishonest, is it newsworthy? No, of course not. Nobody wants to know. But listen, when somebody famous and rich does something, yes. And then we get this thing, oh, see, I told you. Rich people were, they're dishonest. But how many poor people have done the same thing? Thousands and millions. And we don't say poor people are dishonest, do we? No. So it's really an ignorant statement. So let's just take this off, right? All rich people are dishonest. Next one. It's selfish to want to be rich. To me, that is a selfish statement within itself, right? It's selfish to want to be rich. To me, it's selfish not to want to be rich. One of the most ignorant statements I hear people say is this: I just want enough to be comfortable. Really? What does that really mean? Comfortable? What is comfortable? Right? So you want to be comfortable, and what people mean, because I've asked that question to people, right? And a lot of people say, well, I just want enough to be able to take care of my family. They mean their immediate family, husband, wife, children, kids, maybe their father and their mother, they're just immediate family. And you'll be able to take them on vacation and be able to, do things and maybe help them out financially every now and then, right? And so I would say, well, what about, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your friends, your neighbors, your church, your school? What about helping those? Don't you want to help those people? Wouldn't it be nice? Instead of just being able to say, take your immediate family, your husband, your wife, your children, and let's say your father and your mother and your step parents on a vacation. What about even if you were to take, say, I don't know, your cousin, your brother, your sister, and take their families, right? What about if you're able to do that? What about if you're able to say, help out a charity organization that you're passionate about, right? What about if you're to go back to, for example, for me, one of the things that I want to do, I grew up in Jamaica. I grew up, my formative years is in Jamaica. So I went to primary school, elementary school in Jamaica. And I remember going to school and I didn't have pens and paper and pencil and things like that, right? I would love to go back to be able to go back to Jamaica and build a school and make sure those kids have pens and pencils and paper and all the things that they need to do to just focus on the education, right? Now, I would love to create enough wealth to be able to do that. If I say I just want enough to be comfortable, I can't do that. Because that's outside of my comfort zone. That's outside of me just being enough to be comfortable. I have to have more. I have to have it in excess of me just being comfortable. So when I hear people say, I just want enough to be comfortable, it is so selfish to say, I just want enough to be comfortable. That means all you're thinking about is yourself, your immediate self, and nothing outside, right? How do we grow as a society? How do we help the kids? How do we help the future generation if all we're thinking about is just, I just want enough for me and my little bubble, my little immediate family? That is one of the most selfish statements I hear people say. I just want enough to be comfortable. So it's selfish not to want to be rich. So let's take that out, right? Next one. I'm not good with money. When I hear people say that, I'm like, what does that mean? If you follow me, that's something you're gonna hear me ask a lot, right? What does that mean? What does that even mean? Is what I usually say. And I say it out of curiosity, because I'm really curious when people say that, when people say certain things. I've always been curious about human behavior, right? Why we do things, why we say things. So when people say things like, I'm not good with money, what does that really mean? And what I found is people usually say this because they've, had experiences. Maybe they did an investment, right? And it didn't work out. Maybe they're the kind that when they get paid their paycheck, they go to the mall and they just spend it on things and they have no control over it, right? And so they don't get them, they're not in a position to save a lot, or they've lost an investment and they say, well, I'm not good with money, right? However, nobody starts out good at anything, right? anything we want to do, we can become good at. We can learn. We have this thing called technology. We have this thing called computers, right? We have this thing called Google. We have this thing called search engines. We have this thing called the internet, right? If you want to become good at money, you can learn about money management. You can hire a money management coach. You can take a course in money management, right? There are ways for you to learn. So when somebody says, I'm not good with money, okay, I understand. You may not be good now. But what's that got to do with you wanting more? Now, what I do understand, if you are seriously not good with money and you're not in a position to keep and multiply the money you have, then yes, you need to learn some skills. And that is a skill. Money management is a skill. You need to learn money management skills. So if you're not good with money, then go learn how to become good with money. And don't let that be a reason why you don't acquire more money, because you're not good with money, right? Because if you're not good with a small amount, it's right, you're not going to be good with the big amount. But you can learn. So let's take it off the table, because that is a skill that you can learn. If you're not good with money, learn to become better or good with money. What's the next one? It's ungodly to make a lot of money. Okay, listen. I am not a religious person as far as being a knowledgeable about religion. For lack of better words, right now, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm not knowledgeable on religion. However, here's what I will say. I grew up Christian, like most people in the Western world. However, here's what I will say. I don't care who your God is. I don't care if it's Allah. I don't care if it's Yahweh. I don't care if you pray to the cows or the goats or the sky or the sea or the trees. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. However, if your God believes that I should be poor, then your God is not the person that I'm going to take financial advice from. Maybe I'll take other advice, but not financial. Because here's what I will say to you. My God, the one that I believe in, I believe that God wants me to be rich and wants me to be able to have enough, have abundance, so I can do more things and help more. So if you believe that your God does not want you to have wealth or to be rich, then that is between you and your God. I don't know what to say. Like I said, I'm not a religious philosopher, so I'm not going to get too much into that, except the fact that I know that my God wants me to be rich. And if your God doesn't want me to be rich, then I may listen to your God on other things. However, when it comes to financial advice, no. Because I believe that my God wants me to be rich. And I'm going to stick with that. That's my story, and I'm going to stick with that. So let's take that off the table. Huh? Meaning that whatever your God and whatever your belief is, that's between you and your God. I'm not going to get between that, because I understand religion is a very sticky subject. So I'm not going to get it between you and that. Whatever your belief is, you stick with yours, I'll stick with mine. You do you, I do me. Good, cool. All right. So what's the next one? I'm not smart enough. When people say I'm not smart enough, what they usually mean is that they feel that people who have bachelor's degree, PhD, master's, doctorate, they feel like these people created wealth because of their degree. Now, for the most part, no, that's not the case, right? Coming out of college with a degree, maybe a bachelor's or a PhD, or yes, you get into a higher job, and a job that may pay you $100,000 or $150,000 a year, but that is not rich, right? That's comfortable for some people, depending on what comfortable is, but it's not rich, right? However, see what these people have done. Some of these people, what they've done is they've taken that money and they've learned money management skills, right? They've learned how to turn that money into more money, meaning they've learned how to become business people. So this is what, so when people say I'm not smart enough, they think that education is what's going to get them to be rich. No, your education is not what gets you rich, isn't it? Poor people are rich, tall people are rich, black people are rich, white people are rich, short people are rich. All kind of people are rich, dumb people are rich, stupid people are rich. Let me ask you this question. Here's the thing for you. I guarantee 99.99999% that you know somebody that is making way more money than you. that is nowhere near as smart as you. Let me say that again. 99.9999999%, you know somebody that's making way more money than you, that is nowhere near as smart as you. And if you can't think about anybody, what about that old boss? Remember that boss that you say that he's stupid or she's stupid? But they were making more money than you. Remember that boss when you said, I could do their job, but they were making more money than you. See, it has nothing to do with smarts. When I say it has nothing to do with smarts, it has nothing to do with a college degree. Listen, right? There's people that's making millions of dollars. And I'm not going to give you names, but you can just Google it. People that made millions and billions of dollars that never had a college degree, never went to college, never stepped a day in college. So what's your excuse? I'm not smart enough? No, that's not good enough. Let's take that off the list. Next one. You have to work hard to get rich. That's one of the most popular ones, right? You have to work hard. You have to work really hard to get rich. Let me tell you about 2 jobs that I had. I'm just going to tell you about 2 of the hardest jobs that I ever had. It was way back, right? And I was working, it was construction. I was working in Boca Raton, Florida. And what I was doing was, this is when they were laying the underground cables for cable TV and for whatever the other kind of TVs called, right? But we had to lay cables on the ground. My job was to dig the hole in the ground, and we had to dig a hole maybe 18, 20, 24 inches wide, and we had to dig about 3 to 4 feet deep, right? And we had shovels and axes digging holes in the ground in the Florida sun in the summertime, in June, July, and August, in 80 and 90 degrees weather, and there was no tree, there was no shade. What we had to do, those little plastic hats that like umbrella you put on your head, that's what we had, and it was about this big, and it's like a kind of umbrella, hat umbrella, and that's what we had to do, right? That was hard. Digging hole in the Florida sun all day. And we had 2 breaks, a 30-minute lunch break and 2 15-minute breaks. That was hard work. Let me tell you about another one. Working in a construction site where I was a general laborer for the bricklayers, right? And so what my job was to go downstairs, mix the concrete, right? Pour the concrete, put the water in, get the shovel, mix the concrete, right? Mix the cement, put it in a wheelbarrow, put the cement in a wheelbarrow, and wheel it to bricklayers so they can get it. And guess what? I had to go right back and do it again, because by the time I got back, they needed more, because there was 3, 4, 5 bricklayers, and I had to supply all of them. That was hard work. If I remember correctly, I probably got paid like $10, $12, $15 an hour. Rich? No. Let me tell you what the hardest work is. Hardest work is thinking. That is why I created this platform. So we don't have to do that physical hard work. What we have to do is think, right? This is why I have this mission. I'm going to earn $1 million or more in a very short period of time using the greatest tool that we have, which is our brain, right? Hard work, physical labor does not get you rich. In fact, the hardest work to do is thinking. That's why most people don't do it, right? Most people will just go to work and get told what to do, or go dig, or go work labor, where they don't have to think about it, right? This is the hardest work to do. Thinking is the hardest work to do, and that's why you get paid the most when you think and when you use your brain. So hard work, no. You don't get rich by doing hard work. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they teach you. That's how they brainwash us, right? That's how they set us up to stay broke, by teaching us that hard work is what gets us this. No. Thinking is what gets us here, not hard work. Physical hard work is never going to get you rich. It's too expensive. Are you telling your kids this? Forget about your kids. Let me ask you this question. Within the last 4 weeks, how many times have you seen something that maybe you wanted to buy and you said, it's too expensive? What I'm about to say may piss you off, because it pisses some people off when I share it, right? But here's what I say when I tell people this. And listen, I'm not throwing stones at a glass house, because I'm not there yet, right? But when people say this to me, I can't afford it, or it's too expensive, I say, no, no, no. It's not too expensive. In fact, nothing's really too expensive if you think about it. Yes, let me say it again. Nothing is too expensive. Here's what the problem is. Here's what the real problem is. You can't afford it. Yeah, let me say it again. It's not too expensive. It's just that you can't afford it. Listen, you look at something that costs $5,000 and say, I can't afford it. Listen, there's people that spend that much money on breakfast. I mean, let's keep it real. It's not too expensive. It's just too expensive for you. You can't afford it. There's a solution to that. It's not too expensive. You just need to make more money. You need to make more money. And that's what I tell people, and they get pissed off when I tell them that, but it's the truth. It's not expensive. You just can't afford it. You need to make, here's the solution? You need to make more money. But here's something you need to do though. When you see something you think to yourself it's too expensive, don't say it's too expensive. Here's what you say. I can't afford it yet. I can't afford it yet. I can't afford it right now. Is what you do when you say that. See, when you say it's too expensive, your brain is like, okay, there's nothing for us to do. It's too expensive. We'll never be able to exploit it. There's no work for us to do. You shut your brain down. Those are words that shuts your brain down, right? Doesn't put your brain to work. You want to use open-ended questions and open-ended statements that put your brain to work. It's like in sales, right? It's in sales, you never ask a closed-ended question that somebody can say yes or no. You ask a question that can engage them in conversation. You want to do the same thing with your brain. You want to engage your brain. You want to get your brain engaged so it can go to work for you. Go to work on your behalf. Go to work while you're sleeping. Go to work while you're reading. Go to work while you're doing anything, right? But give it to work. Give it some work to do. So here's what you say. I can't afford it yet. So what you're telling your brain is, okay, this is something that one day we're going to be able to afford it. So your brain, okay, how are we going to go about affording it? Have you ever had those times when you just wake up in the middle of the night or you do something like, got it, yeah, that's it, let me write it down. Because you didn't say something that put your brain to work. See, don't put limiting belief statements or closed-end limited belief statements to your brain because it doesn't put it to work. You need to put your brain to work. So instead of saying it's too expensive, don't say that. I can't afford it yet. Oh, here's the other thing. There are people that would say it's too expensive and they actually have the money to do it or to buy it. So it's not too expensive. Let me ask you something. If you have $1,000 to pay your rent, and that's all you have, but your rent is coming up tomorrow and you need to pay it, and you see something that somebody's selling you for $700, and you're like, I can't afford it. Yes, you can. You have $1,000. You have a choice. You could buy that thing over there and you can choose not to pay your rent. So here's what you do. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, what you say is, I choose not to do this right now. I choose not to buy this thing because you know you have a higher priority. I'm not telling you not to pay your rent or something like that. But what I'm saying is, what I'm talking to you about is the words that you use make a difference whether you're going to put your brain to work or whether you don't. So instead of saying, I can't afford it, when you know that you have the money, you can't afford it, don't say I can't afford it. I choose not to. And if you piss somebody off, that's their problem. It's not yours, right? If somebody asks you to buy something and you send you, whatever it is, you say, listen, I choose not to right now. But don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to your brain because you're not putting your brain to work. Say, listen, I choose not to do this right now. And if you're going to give an explanation, it's up to you, but don't give one if you don't want to. I just choose not to. Why? I just choose not to. Because you know why. You have your damn rent to pay, right? So put your brain to work. Say, I can't afford it yet. Here's the last one I'm going to cover. Money isn't everything. Yeah. My car isn't everything. My cell phone isn't everything. I don't know. I mean, to me, this is one of those ignorant statements that fits like into this one, right? Where it says all rich people are dishonest, right? It's the same kind of ignorant statement, right? I got things or something in my. It's the same kind of ignorant statement, right? Where money isn't everything. I know. Whoever said it was, where did you hear that? Right? What does that even mean? Money isn't everything. Well, family is more important, or health is more important. You're damn right your health is more important, because without health, what does money mean? Nothing. What does anything mean without your health, really, if you think about it, right? Well, family is more important. That's up for debate. Depends who you ask, depends what family member we're talking about. But in general, yeah. But what does that have to do with money? What does that have to do with getting rich? Okay, your family is more important. Okay, I get it. And so, yeah, I agree. What's that got to do with you getting rich? Your health is more important. Okay, I get it. What's that got to do with you getting rich? You can get rich and have good health. You can get rich and have a good family. You can get rich and have a good relationship with your family. What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand. What does that even mean? So you see why I asked that question so many times? What does that even mean? Money isn't everything. Okay. All right. Are we going somewhere with this? I mean, people get upset when I say things, but I'm really curious. Where are you getting this from? Where is this thinking from? Right? And maybe it's because over the years I've taken time to evaluate my beliefs, and have eliminated and rejected a lot of these beliefs that I know did not suit me, and they're not pushing me towards my goals. In fact, they're harming me. They're more harmful than they are good for me. So I've rejected that. And a lot of people have not taken the time to evaluate these beliefs that they have about money and other areas of their lives, to eradicate these harmful beliefs about money. So I went through 10. Rich people are greedy. Not everybody want money. Not everybody's meant to be rich. All rich people are dishonest. It's selfish to want to be rich. Turn my phone off. I am not good with money. It's ungodly to make a lot of money. I am not smart enough. You have to work hard to get rich. It's too expensive, and money isn't everything. That's 10 limiting beliefs about money that you need to eradicate from your brain right now. And this is just a short list of 10. Anything else that I didn't think about, maybe you can put it in, maybe you can, put it in the chat, or put it in, send me a response, right? What else? What did I miss? Yeah, that's a good question. What did I miss on this list? What limiting beliefs about money that have you heard that I didn't put on this list? Share it with me. I am Cliff Townsend, founder of brainmaster.com, and also the podcast Get Rich Because Stay Broke, where you learn principles about getting rich quickly. And if you feel that this is a worthwhile journey, a worthwhile goal for you, and you'd like to join me, I invite you to join me. And I'll see you in the next video. My thing is not stopping. My mouse is not working, right? Okay, so, oh, here we go.